Well, hello there. How is everybody? Happy Tuesday, Thursday even. God damn it, can't even get my days right. Praise be the spiral, everybody. Cheers to the spiral. I wondered how long it would be before we heard Airwolf, with this month's competition being TV themes. You feel my withdrawal symptoms cooling down already? That's good, that's good. Thank you for the resub, Amok, as well. 27 months, wow. Yeah, wow, that's the entire time. Yeah, because you were on the first stream, if I remember rightly. Awesome. How's everybody doing? I've had a crazy week. I had migraines most of this week, which was a bit worrying to say the least. I sat in the dark for the entirety of Tuesday and worked in the dark on Wednesday. It was very, very bizarre. They seem to have mostly gone though now, which is good. Lack of wine, yes, maybe. Thank you for the resub as well, Andy. Appreciate it. Cheers. Just drinking lemonade tonight, really. Lemonade and water. Hey, Jamie, how's it going? Thank you for the bits as well, Amok. Appreciate it. So EGX went really well as well. Very pleased with how that turned out. I was not as nervous. I was very, very nervous before the panel. But once we got sat down and talking, it just disintegrated, and I was absolutely fine. There is a video. It's not from EGX because they didn't record them for some reason. But Clang, the host of the panel, and a very good Game Boy dev, who invited me along, recorded it himself. The audio's not the best. I mean, it's definitely listenable. It's not terrible. So that will probably make its way onto YouTube at some point. I've got a copy of the video. I may upload it onto my Google Drive for subs and patrons, just in the meantime while you wait for it to go onto YouTube. As I say, it will make it onto YouTube eventually, but just until then, I'll upload it onto my Google Drive. I'll do that tomorrow. What else? Do I have anything else to say? I don't think I have. Next Tuesday, I'm going to start streaming on Tuesday again. But what I've decided to do is to kind of take a break from coding on Tuesday. So Tuesday is just going to be a game night, basically. God, that stuff's really gassy. Excuse me. A hot tub stream? No, it won't be a hot tub. You don't want to see me in a hot tub. You really don't. But it's going to be multiplayer games. So I've talked Sean into playing some games with me on Tuesday. So we're going to start next Tuesday. We're going to play some Back for Blood, which is the new Left 4 Dead kind of remake, if you like. So we're going to start doing that on Tuesdays, just because it's a way of kind of easing me back into Tuesday streaming without the kind of pressure of having to code as well. So thank you for the extra bit there as well, Andy. Cheers. That game get freaking hard very quickly. Well, good. That's what I want. I'm hoping chance that BG. Ah, wrong arm. Hey, Pops. I can't put my arm around him. God damn it. Yeah, it's just a good way of kind of getting back into the streaming and to allow me to do something a bit different. Gaming's a lot more relaxing to play. Although I imagine multiplayer games less so. But we shall see. Thank you very much for the bits, Amok. Appreciate it. By the way, awesome gift to Prince Phase as well this week. I was beaming from ear to ear when I saw that. Yeah, it was really, really cool. And a funky little machine as well. It looks really, really cool. I'm really pleased you've spruced it up to another level there, and hopefully we'll see some cool stuff coming from Prince Phase soon because of that as well. I don't know if Prince Phase is in, but congratulations anyway to Prince Phase. Very, very, very well deserved. You've been a loyal follower on the stream and definitely been doing your own bit as well to help people learn. Hey, Prince Phase, doing your own bit to help people learn 68K, and I will be I will be going back through all those streams because I haven't managed to watch any of those, and I'm going to be going through them at some point to kind of learn little bits here and there. I mean, I realize it's all Amiga based, but I can use the basics for Mega Drive as well, because what I want to do. So I'm sure everybody's seen it already now. The game that I'm working on in my spare time. Let me just bring up the video. Actually, I've got it on my desktop. I think I've got it on my desktop. Hang on. Probably the best way of doing this. So I've just been kind of working on this in my spare time. Not really had an awful lot of time, but when I have managed to get some time, I've been working on this as a way to do something off stream with a bit less pressure, and just to kind of get back into kind of constant coding. Because at the moment, what's happening is I'm only coding really on stream. So while I may stream a little bit of the development this now and again, it's mostly just going to be something I do off stream. But the more I've started doing this, the more I realize that the style lends itself quite well to other platforms as well. And as it's something where I can actually do most of the art, if not all of the art, I think I definitely want to do a Switch version at some point, because I think this will be a really good way to pick up Unity. I've done little bits of Unity here and there, but I've never actually done a full game or done anything proper in it. So I'll use it as a way to pick up Unity, but also to do possibly a Mega Drive game. The consensus seems to be that it would be possible on the Mega Drive, so that would be kind of cool to do it on that as well. So I'll probably look at doing that at some point once I've got this version, this version working. You like the whiteboard prototype version? Well, actually, it is. While this is a prototype, it is kind of what I intend to do with it. Oh, why is that so? Will that just play? No, it won't just play. It is the style I'm going for in the end anyway. So I do want that kind of paper background. I do want the wiggly stuff in the background. I want it to look like it's been drawn on a piece of paper and animated. So while there's a lot of graphics in there that needs to be kind of tidied up and changed, it's very kind of it's very much going to be that kind of style, with each level being a different setting sort of thing. I'm not sure how many levels it's going to be. I'm not sure exactly kind of what each. I've got 2 levels in mind: this kind of mountainous level and a city level. Just based on the background. So basically, I build the backgrounds first, and then I find a way to animate them. So the backgrounds are composed of 4 separate layers. Well, you can actually have as many as you want, but the mountain one's 4 layers. So there's 3 layers of clouds and the mountains, and that's just a repeating pattern, a very short repeating pattern that just goes on and on. And then the white kind of tiles over the foreground. Let me just show you that again. So this kind of background is going to change per level. The graph paper may change. I need to find other kind of paper that kind of looks like this with a kind of framed area. But this white stuff is going to change. I mean, this is really just, this is the most placeholder of all the art here. These white tiles. So those will change. And be suited to the level. But like, for instance, on the city level, the mountains would be replaced by skyscrapers, kind of futuristic looking skyscrapers, and the clouds would be replaced by flying car traffic sort of thing, with them getting smaller as they go into the distance and moving in different directions rather than just in one direction. So there's loads of opportunities to make it kind of look cool. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to think of different papers, because there's like paper with triangles and hexagons and stuff in it. So that's one option. Like green lines, or the squared paper that isn't graph paper, it's just like large squares, things like that. Just anything to kind of make it look good, and change like the folds as well. So on this one, the paper's been folded in 4, and there's a slight bend on one corner, and I can change that slightly around. So you need a burn effect where you burn the paper at the end. I was trying to think how to do something like that for one of the baddies, one of the end of level bosses, sort of thing, having having kind of char marks hit the paper, or ink spots, you know, things like that. So I'm going to have a play around with some graphic styles. I drew some exhaust stuff for the ship today, so I might put that in tomorrow if I feel up to it. I've been struggling the last couple of days to really do anything on it. I managed to get the raster rewrite buffer stuff working, and super smooth it is as well. It handles quite a lot. So, but yeah, I was thinking, you know, I've got a few ideas for what I want to do with it. The engine's powerful enough now to handle lots of sprites. It can handle 256 sprites, but of any size. So I can have huge bosses if I want to on the screen. I don't think I'll ever hit 256. It's quite a lot, and I can have 32 of those. The sub sprites, so the individual 16x8 blocks. I can have 32 of them on any given line, which is absolutely loads, plenty. Printed stuff by a needle printer would also be cool. Yeah, that's an idea as well. The dot matrix printer paper with the bands across the top and bottom could work quite well as well. If I have the dotted, you know, the tear offs, the dotted lines being the side borders, that's a really good idea, actually. Thank you for that. I will look into that. Could look really good, yeah. But every level is going to look like that pencil art style anyway. But anyway, enough of that. As I say, I may stream a little bit of that impromptu here and there, but it won't be something I exclusively do on stream like Cecconoid or like the cart game. This is just something I want to do for myself, so that I've got a project that I can just kind of drop into whenever I feel like it, and something I want to at least get a demo of ready for Christmas. So when the machines go out, the Mega 65s go out, there'll be a playable demo of this, and hopefully have it fully ready to kind of ship early next year. The idea will be that it will come on an SD card. I'm working on building a small stub ROM, which will basically mean the whole game will be on the SD card. Just plug it in the back of the Mega 65, turn it on, and it should boot straight to the game. Which gives me loads of storage as well to mess around with. I've got to write some music as well, but I fully intend on having a go at the music myself. At least some of it anyway. Okay, on that note, let's crack on with the stream. Let's get this show back on the road, as they say. Turning the paper would be cool. Yes, I considered that. I've also considered tearing as well. So having a kind of animated roll up that moves across the middle and tears it. So like for game over, it will tear across and then say game over in the middle, sort of thing. I've got some ideas for transitions. I need to have a think about, and that was kind of why I did the font being drawn. So the font is animated. Let me just quickly show you how that works. Actually, it's quite clever. If I got it here, I think I have. Yeah, okay. So I have this font that I drew, including the life counter thing. Basically, I drew it in a black color and then added a gray kind of shadow to left and right to create a kind of simple anti-alias. And then what I do is, so this is the palette that it's normally in, this top palette here, this top strip here. But then what I can do is I load up this palette here, and you can see each character has a kind of a rainbow pattern through it, and that's basically the order that the character is drawn. So even though the characters look grey, so you can see I've only done L, E, and V here at the moment. Even though the characters look grey, what's actually happening is it's using all of the greys here. So there's like 14 different greys that it uses, and it goes through each letter one at a time. It draws the letter into a blank character, which is this last one here. This one here. Sticks that on the screen empty, and then one segment at a time it copies the colors across. So it looks for all the colors that are red, copies them in, then goes through orange and goes through them all like that. The cool thing about that is what it also means is I can do nice color animations so I could animate these colors. So if I did some palette cycling through that, those colors would spin around in the letters as well. So that gives me an option for doing some nice kind of stuff on the intro screen, possibly with the score, because I noticed the score is quite hard to see. But yeah, anyway, that's kind of what I've been doing a bit of drawing here and there, and I drew some, as I say, some exhaust kind of not particles, like an exhaust kind of burner thing for the ship today. It looks pretty good. Yeah, don't comment on your tunes at all. We've had 2 entries to that already. I don't expect entries to come in really till towards the end, but we've got 2 entries already. Hey Sean, how's it going? I just told people we'll be doing Back for Blood on Tuesday, so hopefully look forward to it. We'll give it a funky name, something like It Takes Tuesday or something like that. I don't know, or made for Tuesday. I don't know. But it's gonna be pretty cool. I think it'd be nice to just play some games and relax for once on a Tuesday. No pressure. Two for Tuesday, sponsored by Domino's. If they sponsor me, then happily. Slime Dub, very good choice there, Nicamo. All right, let's crack on with the code tonight. So as I say, we're going to do Cecconoid tonight. When we left off last time, let me show you where we were actually. I have made a few small changes just before the stream because I realized there's absolutely no reason. Originally, I had this here like that. There's absolutely no reason for this boot file to be at 0800. This is all launched from cartridge, so I can put this where I want. So I decided to put it down here, save a kilobyte. I needed a little bit past the beginning of the screen area because the cart copy code starts at 0340, so I had to move that. But at the same time, it also meant that I could move this low code down as well. So this was 0800. I don't know why it was 0800. It didn't need to be, so I've moved that down as well. Which means now I've got a little bit of extra space here, so I'm going to be able to probably about 2 kilobytes extra space here, which means I can probably move some tables and things like that down to there and save even more room up here, which is kind of cool. Yeah, let me add the points and quiz. There we go. What's the points? Hopefully that went through. It did. All right, let me find the interact button, find the race button. There we go. Ooh, Nintendo 64. I'm intrigued. Who's going to get this one? Will Sean get this one? This is Sean's area, or it should be. AMK point. No, no. If that was the case, then Steps would be well ahead of you by now. Oh, I think I know what this is. Oh, Sean. Sean. I knew what that was very early on. I wish I'd have taken that one. Well done, Mythical. That you need negative points for begging. Yeah, we do. We do. Problem with that is that I kind of deliberately hold back on the points with Andy. I really make Andy work for his points. More so than anybody else, I think. And that'd be really unfair on Andy because he'd probably have way more points than everybody else, but he'd be losing them all for asking where others would have just automatically received. So but it's fine. He's well ahead. He's well ahead. Okay, so we were in the middle of dealing with a crash issue. I think I'd resolved the crash, but there is still a bug, and I know what this bug is. Oh, one bug I did notice. Let me show you. We'll have to resolve this at some point. I'm not entirely sure what's going on here. I'm guessing it's to do with the power-up system and the way that works. But if I've got some power-ups and I die, watch what happens to this switch in the top right corner, the flashing red and white switch. Also, I need to change the speed of this flash as well. It should be way faster than that. You can see it disappears. Also, where have I gone? Oh, I'm up there. Okay. So there's some weird sprite stuff going on there. It's It's only temporary, and it's as in if I leave the screen and come back, it's fine, and it's still active because I can shoot it and it turns the switch off. But I think what's happening is when you pick the power, or when the power ups spawn when you die, it doesn't use the next available sprite. It just uses the first sprite, which is bad. Oh god, Acmefin's. Oh god, we need a joke bot. Yes, Acmefin, we do need a joke bot. I should just go back through all the streams and look for any time Acmefin said something and make it a joke. I do need to look that up at some point and figure it out. What the hell's going on? Just the Acmefin quotes. Okay, so this is the screen we need to sort out. So, and I think I know what it is. So let me just quickly get rid of these with the mace. There we go. So this thing, when you, well, firstly, you can't kill it with this, I don't think. No. Oh, and it does still crash. But I think what's happening there is we noticed that on the last stream that if you don't make the thing explode, if you just have it throw the spikes out, everything's fine. And what I realized was, and I need to confirm this now, but what I realized is it's not as simple as just enabling the characters like that. You have to actually make some changes in the map as data as well, because some of this map data is used to generate the kind of explosion paths and to work out which way. Hang on, is this even the right map? This doesn't feel like the right map. No, it's not. Oh, I'm confused now. Which is the most recent one? I thought it was that one, but is it that one? Yeah, it's that one. I really need to tidy that folder up, to be honest. Okay, so one of the things this does is it has these materials. If I can turn the materials on, is it that one? No, that one there. That shows how things explode. So you can see everything that explodes has these patterns on them to show which way the particles go. But it also uses them to work out when it's doing a scan where the corners are. So the corners will always be 1, 3, 5, and 4. So it will scan across until it finds a corner, then it will move down, and then it will scan this way, and it does that to work out exactly what to remove. So if we don't have that, then what will happen is it will just keep scanning across the screen, and it will eventually run into problems. And you can see, indeed, we do not have that on here. So I think if we just add that on, I think we should be fine. I think this should work. So we're going to do that quickly, and then we're going to give it a run, and hopefully that should fix that. So let me just move some stuff around. I've got all the wrong windows open over here. I'm kind of looking forward to the gaming on Tuesday. I think it should be good. I kind of been wanting to play this game since it was announced. I avoided the beta because I didn't want to spoil it, and I knew the beta was going to be an old build, so I've just kind of kept away from it. So I'm kind of looking forward to playing it, and it'll be kind of fun with Sean as well. So. And hopefully you guys can enjoy watching it for those who do want to pop along and watch. And just a reminder as well, everybody, if you are subbed at Christmas, you will win a PS5, or you can win. Not you will win a PS5. You can win a PS5. And also the Mega 65 competition will be announced. The winner of that will be announced on the same stream as well. So that's going to be a fun stream as well. Probably make that a gaming stream. I think it's supposed to be a Cecconoid stream, but I'll probably make that a gaming stream as well. So no, you won't. Will you definitely? No, I did not say that. It reminds me, actually, I need to get the RetroPie cases done as well. Okay, so we're going to start by adding the materials into these. So if I zoom in, you'll see what I mean. So you can see the 1, 3, 4, 5, 1, 3, 4, 5 pattern on all these things. So at the very least, it needs a 1, a 3, a 4, and a 5 in these corners. But that won't be enough to get the explosion right. We have to use these middle pieces as well, and these show the pieces moving off from the top and from the bottom as well. So we're going to use that kind of pattern, but we'll just have to add something in the middle to make that work as well. But I'm hoping that that is all we need to do. It just dawned on me the other day when I was thinking about this that I hadn't done that. So so hopefully I can just go in here and I can just change these. If I do 1 there, so I either need 2 or 7 here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do 2 on the top and I'm going to do 8 on the bottom, and I'll put 7 here as well, so in the middle. So let's go. Let's put the things on here as well. So 2 there and 3 there, and then okay. So I don't have anything for the middle, so I'm just going to do 1 again and 1 7 3 this time, because this is just controls the direction that things explode in, but also where the corners are. I think it should work with this. We might have to have a look and see if I've written it down in the code anywhere what it should be when it's this shape. But I'm thinking this will probably be all right. So, and then the bottom would be 4, like 4 8 5, which should be enough. So 4 8 5. All right. So let me save that. And let me just check in my make file, because I'm assuming the make file is taken. Yeah, okay, so we can see which one is taking there. That's good. Let's give that a try. One as a corner and also an edge. Oh, why have I put 5 1 2 1 2 3 1 2. Yeah, these I'm not sure how the middle ones work. In fact, let me have a look. I might have already. Well, I can quickly go and test it first, I guess. If it doesn't work, then we can go and have a look. But I think it should work. Oh God, what are you clipping? What are you clipping? I'm paranoid now. Oh, I see. Right. Yeah, I mean, if 100 people enter and 100 people win a PS5, I'm pretty sure only one person's shipping is going to be successful. The rest will be lost in shipping, for which I hold no responsibility. I did mean to plug that PS5 giveaway at EGX, but I forgot to do it. I wasn't exactly in a good frame of mind for doing this sort of thing. No, okay, that didn't work. Okay, so that wasn't the only thing I need to do, which is a bit annoying, but let's see if we can figure out why. So first of all, let's just go and double check what that pattern should be. I'm pretty sure I wrote it down somewhere. So question is, where on earth did I write it down? I have no idea. Oh, here we go. Material pattern, 1 base index. Okay, cool. Okay, so it is different. It is different. You can see there. Is that big enough by the way, the text? Where did you get 100 of those? That's a good point. I've managed 3 so far this year. I'm pretty sure I could do more. Didn't we decide the bug was because the screen position register was overwritten? Nope. I don't think so. I'm going to try this pattern because this pattern is definitely different from what I wrote. No, it hadn't. We hadn't got that far. I don't think. I think we'd got when you were drunk. Oh, I might. I don't know, but I certainly. I know I'd got to that point, and it was just a case of I need to dig around in the code for it. But the thing is, I realised that this hadn't been done, and this pattern doesn't match. You can see the pattern is different, and I do remember writing these patterns down. You can see these patterns are fine: 1 3 4 5, and this pattern down here 1 2 7 3 4685 matches there as well. I don't know why the patterns are like this. They just are. But let's just go through and change these. So let's make this. So was it 123, which it is on the top? Okay, so then this would be 465. So four. Oh, pressing the 6 on there. God, you'd think I'd been drinking already. 465 and then 988. So I kind of almost had it down here, but I think the middle line was throwing it off there. 988. Okay, so just to look at that, 123 465 988. Okay, that's exactly what's written here now. Because this should work, right? This was working. This was absolutely working 100%. And the only reason it wasn't enabled was because the character itself was in a weird place. Like in 13 Saturday evenings when doing maths, yeah. Oh, math, not meth. Jesus. What do you think I am? Okay, let's get a speed up to make it a bit easier. A bit quicker even. Should really get the mace because it's super easy to get through here with the mace. So as I say, I'm just going to work through each screen one at a time, making it right. So I think once I get this working, I'm going to go back and fix that sprite on the other screen. Because I think that's to do with the power-up. So that's going to be a problem on multiple screens. There we go. Perfect. Perfect. Right. So the other thing I need to do is make sure that that can be destroyed by a mace. So we'll fix this screen up. And then once this screen is fully working, which it's almost working now, right? We've got this. Does that actually give out a power-up? It does. And everything else is destroyable. So I just need to go in every screen, check that things are destroyable. And in the case of new items, code them up if they need coding. So there's going to be screens with like turrets and rockets and stuff on that we don't have. I had no reason to drink wine last Saturday. I drank quite a lot of wine on the Saturday. So I went to the hot tub with her during IMFC review, came to visit from afar. Yeah, so we'll fix this on this screen in a minute. But what I want to do first is I want to test this with the mace. I want to see if I can destroy it with the mace, and then if I can't destroy it with the mace, I want to see if I can destroy it by shooting it. I should be able to destroy it by shooting it. So let's boot it up again. And as we go along, I'm going to try and optimize little things here and there to kind of save space. One thing I was thinking was about the laser, because it's kind of quite heavy. I might still use the renderer that we made, but I might pre-render them at the beginning of the screen. So as soon as the screen starts, it renders the lasers out. Or, I mean, I can just render them and store them on the cartridge. I don't know what would be easier, actually. Probably save a bit of memory if I just put them on the cartridge, wouldn't it? But it seems a bit of a shame after the work that was done on it. But to be honest, the bulk of the work was not drawing the line. The bulk of the work was drawing the particles, and it would improve the particles a lot to do that. But for now, let's just leave them as they are. Okay, so with the mace in trail, I should be able to destroy everything, which I pretty much can. Can I destroy this? I can. Awesome. Wow. Okay, that means this screen is done pretty much. Okay, cool. Right. So let's go and have a look at this laser then. So I think what's happening is when the things respawn, it's using whatever the first sprite is to redraw. And in this case, it's this sprite here. I'm pretty sure if I move that sprite, it would be the top of the laser that's disappeared. So let's just quickly confirm that by doing that exact thing. So let's find the screen stuff. And after we've done this screen, it's going to be finish the Robotron screen, basically. Is it that one or is it that one? It's that one, isn't it? No, I can't tell anymore because it's dynamic code. So dynamic. Add door, add switch, add sprite. Laser in it. Okay. Yes. So we add this sprite here and this switch index here. So I think if I do this way around, just compress it down a little bit so the code kind of matches relevant pieces of code together. So we're going to do the same thing again. We're going to die on this screen as long as we've got a power up. I don't think it matters if you don't have a power, which will be the next thing I test. I'm pretty sure it's to do with that power up that spawns. Also, I noticed that you can like all your power ups should drop, and at the moment only one is dropping. So that's probably something to do at some point. Oh no! See, that sprite has disappeared. It's there. I saw I grabbed it, but okay. Let's test that theory again. Let's grab some of these. Pretty sure it only draws one sprite though, so we might have to do a little bit of work on the power ups. Oh no, it does draw all of them, but look, they all disappear. And then they come back to me when... Okay. I think that's because what's happening is this is being set every frame. So those sprites that appear there are taking on the laser pointers all the time, whereas this pointer's only set once. So when the sprites appear, it just removes this and replaces it with its normal sprite. Okay, so it's definitely to do with the power-ups, but we do get more than one power-up appearing on the screen, which is kind of cool. Seem to be shooting a decal as well. 4 dots. Oh, that's the double. It's the double bullet thing. It does seem to be doing 2 lots though, doesn't it, rather than 1? It should just be doing 1, but it seems to be doing... Hang on. Is that actually... Oh no, it's just the speed of the update. That's weird. It's moving so fast it looks like it's in 2 places, but it is technically only 1. Oops. No. Yeah. It's just because it's moving fast. That's weird. What a weird illusion. There we go. That's a good shortcut to know. Alt-D. I mean, it makes no sense why Alt-D would be full screen, but okay. Possibly a Linux thing. I know these applications are not really built with Windows shortcuts in mind. Actually, does the Windows shortcut work? No, Alt-Enter doesn't work. That's annoying. Display maximize. Okay, yeah, so it is like a Linux OS X kind of thing. Yeah, I mean, it is what it is. It's fine. I used to like the shortcuts in Vice, and I think in 3.1 or something they changed them all, and it just kind of throwed me off. Like the monitor is Alt H, which doesn't make any sense to me whatsoever. I preferred it when it was Alt M, and now Alt M is enable mouse, which is something you don't want to be accidentally pressing all the time, because then you end up in this situation where you've got no Windows mouse. So you have to remember that you've done that and go back and press it. So you made that up. Alt N to full screen. Yeah, yeah, they changed it all when it went GDK. Yeah, I don't know why. I don't know why they enable mouses. Yeah, it is, and it's really annoying. It should be a much more complicated shortcut than Alt M, because Alt M is really easy to just press, and then you end up thinking, "What the hell have I done?" And you can't find your mouse cursor, and you know, because it's kind of locked to that window. Then did the keyboard team? Yeah. It could be worse. It could be worse. We could be using Vim kind of shortcuts as well, couldn't we? Like, oh, you need to do, Alt W Q to exit, or to maximize display would be Alt D Shift M Alt Enter or something crazy like that. So yeah, it could be worse, I guess. And I'm sure it's all reconfigurable somewhere. I just haven't bothered to. I haven't bothered to look. I'm sure you can do it in here somewhere. Maybe no, maybe not actually. But there might be like a bindings file somewhere you can mess with. You've been using it all week. I hate Vim. I really do. Really, really do. The first thing I do on any box that I'm working on, if I can, it's not always. It depends what kind of box I'm playing around with, but I'll install like a proper text editor like Nano or something that actually uses standard freaking standard shortcuts. Okay, so one thing I'm going to do quickly before I go and figure out that power up thing is just change the rate of this, because I was looking at the video for this game, and the laser flashes really, really quickly. It's almost kind of yeah, there we go. Let's turn the music off. So I don't know if you saw that, but it's really, really quick flash. We need to do that animation as well, but that's one for later. This kind of screen I want to do towards the end, want to know how the controls are going to work. But yeah, look how fast that's flashing. It's really, really fast. So I'm going to do that. Also, they explode really quickly as well. So I think I might need to change the timer on those. Come back to that anyway. So I'm going to change the timer on this laser flash because it's way too slow. So let's do that quickly. Should be simple thing to do, I think. Let's have a look where the color is. Color, here we go. Laser color. Oh, here we go. Take the frame timer and it with it. Okay, that's okay. Let's change that down to 03. See what that's like. I think things like Vim made more sense when the keyboards had kind of the little kind of, because you used to get a lot of the terminal keyboards that would have things written on them and it made more sense when it was like that, because they were they were marked up like that. In the same way the Commodore has the PET on the keyboards, a lot of old terminals would have the commands written on the keys as well. So while it might seem stupid that we're pressing these key combinations that make no sense, back then it would have been written on the key, so they wouldn't have been thinking about it as like Alt D. They would have been thinking it as maximize. It might have said maximize on it or something like that. I mean, I'm just making that up, but for instance, there's one key that you don't see at all anymore is the bell key. There used to be a bell key on. Let's see if I can find that actually. Controlling G, yeah, that's the one. Let's find the image. Yeah, so you'd get a lot of keyboards that would have this on it. They would have this. They would just have the word bell written above G because it was the way of ringing the bell on here. So, but yeah, I mean it's just something we don't do anymore. But back when keyboards were mainly used for terminal stuff. LN, oh dear. Will be is in the file. Yeah, it's anyway, that's kind of fun. The reason I noticed that as well is I was watching shit. What was it I was watching? Oh, it was oh, what's it called? It's a comedy show with Steve Buscemi and Daniel Radcliffe, and I completely forgot what the show's called now. But in the first season, they play angels in heaven, and Steve Buscemi is God, and they've got lots of kind of retro tech hanging around. And one of the things they had was this really old terminal keyboard. I don't know, it just reminded me of all these kind of weird keyboards. I really like those old keyboards. They're cool. Mamma mia. Oh my god, what was that show called? I can't bloody remember now. Miracle Workers. That's it. Miracle Workers. Good show actually. If you wanna kind of nice light-hearted comedy, it's good fun. I need to watch the third season actually. I've not watched it yet, but the first two were pretty good. Enjoyed them. Each season's like a different timeline and different. They play different roles in it, but it's essentially the same people in it. It's the first time I've watched Daniel Radcliffe in anything and actually enjoyed it. So, thank you very much for the resub, Warlock, and thank you very much for the resub, Zendar, as well. Cheers. Appreciate it as ever. Okay, so I didn't actually check that laser. I just started waffling about keyboards. I don't even know if this is the right. Well, we'll be able to see because the laser will be flashing like a madman. So. Yeah, that's better. Okay, so that's kind of the speed it needs to flash at, really. It needs to be almost kind of seizure-inducing, unfortunately. Actually, it might need to be. Let's try it a little bit faster. See what it looks like. It should kind of look almost like it's two different colors as it moves because of the way that the frame. Like we could see two sets of bullets. It should look like there's an alternating red and white as it moves almost. Because we don't have the kind of super smooth sub-pixel accuracy that the original game does. Yeah, there we go. You can see how it's got like a red trailing edge and a white leading edge. Well, actually, they swap around a little bit. That's kind of what I was after. So that's much closer to the original. Been thinking about the controls as well for this. So I've got some ideas how to do single control. Yeah, I mean it's because it's like super smooth on this. You don't see that trailing edge like you do on here, and that it's also the laser itself is not 1 pixel wide. It's like a couple of pixels wide on this. It's like aliased. You can see how it's aliased here. Actually, it's not that aliased when it's in red mode. I think it is when it's in white mode though. But it looks a lot smoother on there. So we're never going to get that good, but how we've got it is good enough, I think. Slower at the edges, it sweeps at varying speed as well. Yeah, I mean we do have a little bit of a sweep as well. You can see it slows down as it gets to the edge here. We do use a sine wave to generate those positions. The only thing we don't have is this here. It's locked to this pixel here, whereas it should be kind of following that round. But if we get some time, we can go in and fix that. It shouldn't be too much of a big issue. Just need to. The problem is I'd have to redo all these particles, which is the annoying thing. There are a few glitches on this screen, and I'm hoping that some of the changes I want to make to the laser may fix them. So I'm not going to worry too much about the glitches at the moment. But let's fix this this power up issue. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give myself. Actually, can I drop the mace if I start with it? Let's see if I can do that, because if I can, that would be just to make this a lot easier. Interestingly, the pew pew doodle thing that I've been doing uses a lot of techniques from this, so that's kind of cool. That the work we've been doing on this has taught me a few little things, and one of them was the mace. So the little drone that flies around the ship on the shoe mob I'm doing uses code similar to what the mace is doing, but instead of it just going around in a circle like that, it goes. It's like a figure eight, and what it does is for half of the circle it uses a sprite that's behind, and for the other half it uses a sprite that's in front. So it looks like it's going round and round the ship, which is kind of nice. So which is another good thing about the yeah, there we go. It does appear Okay, but notice how that didn't disappear this time. That's interesting. Oh, because I've moved. Because I moved the thing down, didn't I? Okay, let's put that back because I don't want to. I don't want to break it like that. I want it to break the other way so I can actually fix the bug. It did drop the mace, but it disappeared straight away. That was the problem. The reason it disappeared is because it turned into a laser piece, which means it would have stayed exactly where the laser was, and it would have actually just been two lasers on top of each other. And until I got close, it wouldn't move towards me, so you wouldn't see it. Whereas now with the it's because it's whatever sprite is assigned first on that screen. So in this case, now the first sprite is that switch up there, so we should see it drop, which it does. But you can see how that thing has moved out of the way now. So there we go. Okay, so let's take a look at the power up drop code. I cannot for the life remember where that is, but we do have a power ups file, so maybe it's in here. Drop power ups. Here we go. So this is working. Okay, spawn power up player. So this looks like the routine that we need. Add power up. Okay. So why is that not picking the next? Oh, it should be picking the next index. Load I data next. Oh no, that is. Wait a minute. Get next free sprite. So this should be working, but for some reason it's not doing that correctly. Okay, let's put a breakpoint in here and see what actually happens when we get the next free sprite. So this should match the value that we get from here. If I put another one in here, so if I do multiplexer get next free sprite, actually does that? I can't remember if that actually advances the sprite count. I think it does advance the sprite count, so I probably can't use that. So instead, what I'm going to do is I'm going to look for the value in here. So we have. Oh, it's a 0 page value. Yeah, so it advances the value. So I need to. Oh, we've also got this Vmax multi. Okay. It's probably to do with our dynamic stuff. So one of the performance things we do on this screen is we change the maximum number of sprites. So we've got 3 sprites that are always going to be needed. One for the ship, one for any masks that are on the screen, and those 2 are hard coded. Those 2 never change. The other 6 available sprites are multiplexed. Then we've got 1 for the mace, so that's 3, which leaves us with 9 sprites, according to this. Which I think is the problem. I think if I was to change that to a higher value, like 16, that's going to allow up to 4 things to drop, which should be enough because you can only pick. Actually, no, because you can go through once you go through that door. I don't think can you get back. I don't think you can get back. I think it closes behind you. But obviously, when we do that, it's going to increase the amount of time it takes on this screen. So, okay, that's the spawn power up routine. This is going to trigger all the time now, but I think I've solved the issue anyway. Right, so this should drop 2. That's 1. That's 2. Yeah, there we go. But they're dropped on top of each other. So I think if I get close enough, oh, damn it, they're going to despawn, aren't they? Yeah. Fuck. All right. Let me do that again. So actually, it's not too bad. It doesn't look that bad. So that's good. So the next step is to go into that Robotron screen once this is working, which I'm quite pleased with it so far. I think the only thing I would like to do is optimize the laser a bit by maybe accepting. It's not really accepting defeat. It's just realizing that with everything else that's going on, I can't really rely on. See, look, the lasers are a bit. The particles are a bit flash. Actually, not too bad. Let's say if I get a maximum number of things, but on some screens there's 4 lasers, so I need to get rid of this, don't I? Let's just do it once, and then I'll turn the brakes off. I don't think you can get more than 3 power-ups that you could drop. You would drop a speed power-up, you drop a mace, and you drop your weapon power-up. So 3 would be the most you would ever drop. So I can probably reduce the... I shouldn't have done that, really. But it's fine. It's a sprite still. So there we go. So 1, 2, 3. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, I mean, it's dropping 3. Okay. That's okay. We might need to look at how that drops and just make sure that it's that they do spread out and they're not too close to each other. Because it looks like if you drop the mace, sometimes with a power up on top of it, they kind of merge together into one. So I need to just make sure they do drop at different places. But that feels pretty good. As I say, I think we can. Let me just try dropping that performance meter down to 15. I think that's probably all right. Yeah, if you shoot it, it stops flashing and the door opens. Pretty sure that door closes behind you once you go through it as well. I have to check that. But that will be the next screen we look at once we've done the Robotron screen. So the Robotron screen does need quite a bit. Oh, fucking hell, let me turn this breakpoint off. The Robotron screen does need quite a bit of work on it. But the bulk of the work's been done now. So I counted it's 3 waves of 12 that spawn. So you get 12 that appear, you shoot them, and then another 12 appear, you shoot them, another 12 appear, you shoot them, it spawns a box and opens the door. By the way, are the only other colours somewhere in the game despite red? No, black, white, and red are the only 3 colours in the entire game. One of the reasons I want to do that paper kind of shooter game on Switch as well is because I really like the idea of doing a game for an 8-bit machine and then porting it to a modern machine. I like going the other way with it. I think it's kind of cool. I mean, it's not the first time that's happened. Obviously, we see lots of retro games get ported to modern machines, but I can't think of many that have been made recently and then immediately ported to another machine. So, right, okay, let's try dying here. Okay, that's kind of cool. That one's flashing in differently. Ah, no, okay, it still disappeared there, so I do need 16 on here. Okay. So just need to be aware, I think, whenever we do this, that we need to add extra sprites in here to deal with. Anytime we set this, it needs to deal with these extra sprites. Let me find out what the default value is for these. Where is it now? It's in the... Where's my constant? Oh, I've got variables. There we go. Okay, so 20 is the normal maximum. We put it on 16. So we are saving a little bit. That's fine. What will I use? Unity. Yeah, either Unity or even Game Maker Studio. I mean, it's... Game Maker would probably be a little bit easier for me because I've done it before. But I don't really want to do Game Maker. I want to learn something new like Unity. So, second. So I'll probably use Unity. I think the other option. Can you use Unreal Engine on Switch? I think you can. Yeah, that was the other option potentially as well. And then it would run also on other architectures. Yeah. Oh well, I mean, Game Maker Studio will as well. Game Maker Studio ports to all the same things that that Unity does pretty much. But I was thinking Unity over Game Maker Studio just because I want to learn the tools. And I think I can use C# kind of with Unity, so it will still feel all right, I guess. I mean, it's been a while since I did C#, but should be pretty easy to pick up again. I did prefer C# to Java, if I'm honest, but I don't get to use it very often nowadays. I kind of see C# as kind of like a nice, neat and tidy Java. without all the fluff and crap that Java comes with, all the baggage, if you like. But that nice kind of memory managed kind of language is kind of nice to deal with. I'd say it's probably been 10 years since I did anything in C sharp. I can pick it up in no time, I'm sure. It's easy mode, right? After assembly. Everything's easy mode after assembly. I like winding up C devs. Like people at work will be talking about various things, and they'll talk about C. They'll go, "Oh, yeah, I like to do C." Blah 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 blah. I say, C's easy mode, and they hate it. They hate the fact that I call C a high level language. Don't like it. I've had that conversation on here with somebody as well about it being a high level language. It is a high level language, and you can't get away from it. It's about as close to low level as a high level language will get, but it's still high level. Assembly is easy mode. Yeah, assembly is easy mode for me. C devs hate it when I say that it's high level. Actually, when I do reverse engineering, I prefer to look at the assembly than I do at the pseudo C kind of output that it gives you. I definitely prefer reading the assembly to the C. C is good for kind of getting a quick grasp of kind of where the functions are, where the various methods are and classes are. But for actually seeing what's going on and seeing how I can change things, I find it a lot easier to read the assembly than that. I thought officially C was intermediate level. Well, C, I guess. C++, I guess you would call high level, wouldn't you? I guess. I mean, it depends how you look at it, I guess. Something else I haven't really done enough of. I used to do a little bit of C back in the day when I was Quake modding and stuff, but I've not really done anything new with it for a long time. Yeah, C is super fancy. Yeah, exactly. I think C is more like a higher level layer, if you like, on top of C. So while you can write pure C in it, it does have all the stuff as well that makes it more flexible. All right, so I think we're happy with that now. So let's have a look at the Robotron screen. So where am I on here? Oh, I'm there. Okay, right. So let's go down and have a look. So at the moment, what happens is we go in that room, the door shuts. Anything to? Oh, I'm going to change the timing on these because I think they're a bit slow. Let's just have a look at the thing. Okay, so let's just have a look how quick these are. Yeah, they're very quick actually. Whereas here, they need to be like twice as quick as that. Also, they need to flash a little bit more. If you look at the flash, it's quite quick on there as well. So let's sort that out while we're here. Yeah, and I've heard the argument that C sharp is C plus 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 with the pluses all arranged in a square, and then it looks like C sharp. But I think that's just people. I don't know if that's why they came up with the name or whatever, but yeah, it's I think it's kind of funny. Just, yeah, but you don't have to care about the flags. That's the thing. A language where you need more than one equal is too high. Yeah. A language where you need an equal is too high. You shouldn't need an equal. The only time you should need an equal is if you need to write macros or labels like this. Oh yeah, triple equals. Oh, JavaScript. I mean, that's actually quite nice for a dynamically typed language. That's actually quite a nice thing to have. It lets you tell the difference between a strict Boolean check or a truthy check, which is kind of nice. But even that has got problems as well because of the way certain kind of frameworks kind of transpile stuff. It doesn't always it can cause confusion, and you even get some linters that will complain if you put double equals instead of triple equals, when you might actually mean double equals. There's loads of weird little things like that. This is why JavaScript can be a bit of a nightmare. Okay, so let's try and fix those explodable things. Now, where they're going to be? They're going to be probably in entities, I believe, which I have no idea where they're going to be because things are like all over the show in here. Items, decals, particles, no. Entity, there we go. Why it's there, I don't know. It's fine. I've got used to the kind of weird way this is set up now. Okay, so here is color change and flash. Okay, so there's flash, flash, flash. That means the color changes here. Load of flash timer. Okay, so this is how slow. Okay, let's make this a constant because I don't like that. So first of all, let's just make sure that is the right thing to set. So if I set that to 1, are these things going to flash quicker? They should do. Flash. Oh. I like it. So I'm not going to play Resident Evil tonight, by the way. I'm quite tired. I fell asleep a little bit before the stream. But I will play some more on. I haven't charged my phone up anyway, so I couldn't do, even if I wanted to. But I will play some more on Saturday again. Thank you. How can I say that? Rezor. Rezor. Yeah, welcome to the stream. Hope you're doing well. Thank you for the follow. Linter, is that some kind of chocolate? C# is great for tools. Yeah, indeed. I did when I was doing Xbox stuff. I mean, I was using XNA, so it was using C# anyway. But I wrote a lot of the editors in C#, using God, what was it called back then? The WinPF, I think, the Windows presentation framework or something like that. I can't remember what it was, but it was really handy for doing that. Really, really handy for doing that. Hey, Zupadan. Let's make a language where an arbitrary number of equals can have meanings. For instance, I think that probably already exists somewhere. I'm pretty sure that exists somewhere already. You've got like, was it brain fuck, whatever it's called, as some crazy kind of stuff like that, where varying amounts of kind of dots and colons and stuff do different things. Oops, I should have probably not died there. Okay, okay, they're flashing too quick, but that definitely was the counter. So let's change that to 2, and let's change this to mine flash speed, just so it's obvious, and then we'll put it up here. Make that 2. There we go. Mr. G. Need a chat tomorrow. Why are you turning at Mr. G? I'm confused now. Did you mean MVG? Need a chat tomorrow? Oh yeah, no problem at all. Yeah, just give us a shout whenever I'll be around. By the way, I meant to do some testing on that Mega Drive game, and I never got around to it. I completely forgot about it. So, do you know if there are any plans by anyone to port Luma to Amiga? Ooh, no, not that I know of. Are you offering to do that? That would be kind of cool. I may be happy for you to have a go if you want to do it. I'd be interested in watching that as well if you wanted to stream it. I don't believe anybody has. I mean, nobody's approached me about it, and I'm perfectly happy for anybody to go and do that. It's absolutely fine. A Game Boy Advance. Do you know? I've been considering doing a Game Boy Color version for a while, and the reason I've been considering that is because it almost is perfect for the Game Boy screen, except for one problem. If it was 2x2 tiles, it would be absolutely perfect for it, except it's 3x3 tiles because the laser needs to go through the middle of a block, and because of the way the colors mix on it, I don't think it would be possible for me to do it in that way. So I kind of wanted to do that. I thought it might be an easy, quick win, but unfortunately, no, I'm not. I don't think I can do it. It's a shame, but I don't know about the Game Boy. The Game Boy Advance maybe would work because the resolution's a bit higher. So, yeah, that's What's the resolution, Mythical Duck, on the GBA? Like, does it? Can you do tile maps the same as you do on the Game Boy, or is it more of a kind of back buffer to draw on 240 by 160? So that's 8 by. Oh, so it is tiles. Okay, so you've got, what's that? That's 30 by 20, right? Or bitmap mode. 30 by 20. What's the color limitations in an 8 by 8 tile block? I assume it's just like use colors where you want, but the palette's limited. 256 colors, and you can use as many as you want in an 8 by 8 block. Because if you can use as many colors as you want in a block, then it would work. Well, you'd need, if you could use about 8 colors in a block, it would definitely work, I think. In fact, it would probably work with 4, but ideally you'd want like 8, so you could have all the extra detail on it. Because then you could use 16 by 16 pixel tiles, so 2 by 2 tiles, and then you can use a 10, because the grid is 10 by 10. So if you can create a 10 by 10 grid, and you would have room down the side, yeah, it would work on the GBA. It would work really well on the GBA, actually. Yeah, interested. Right, let's see how these mines flash. It's just a shame on the Game Boy Color you can only use four colors in a block, and one of them is transparent. So actually, no, it doesn't have to be transparent. It's just I was always using transparent on Dot Cosmos, but it doesn't have to be. So you might be able to just about get away with it actually on the Game Boy Color with a bit of thought about their flashing. I don't want to set these off without hitting them, so I probably shouldn't be getting the mace. Let me turn the mace off. And also, they're flashing too quickly now. Is that the only place that's happening? Don't mind. Mine timer. Okay, mine flash speed. That's the only place that's happening. Store data timer. Yeah, okay, so I'm not sure this is the right thing in here. I'm confused now. So let's have a look. Right, if we activate this, we come in. Let me just turn up mace off so while I remember. That one there. Oop. Okay, so it's coming in here. Works out if the mine is active. So this is the mine actually pulsing. If the mine is active, then it comes to here, at which point it gets the timer. If it's 0, it jumps to here. Otherwise, jump to no color change. Okay, then I'm guessing down here. Yeah, so we decrease all the timers down here. So this is making sure that. Okay, so that is the mind. Okay, so that timer is correct. So let's see if 3 is better. So the only thing we need to do is the activation time, which is obviously too long at the moment. So we'll have a look at that as well. Actually, I'm going to set the screen to be so it's 1, 2, 20. Oh, I can't remember the screen. I think it's 21. just so I don't have to keep doing this. Yeah, it is 21, isn't it? Okay. Yeah, that's better. Okay, right, they're flashing good now. They're exploding a little bit too slow though. They need to be a bit quicker than that. So let's just set the player to spawn on screen 21, which means I need the game loop file, which is over here. And where's my spawn? Where's my spawn? There it is. Oh, I've already got the original one up there. Okay, so 21. Isn't the ship in the video faster than in your version? Is it? Oh yeah, because it's picked the speed up. Yeah, so we did some testing early on with this to get the speeds right. It's just because I don't have the speed up straight away. So, oh yeah, I forgot you were doing that. You need to finish that Acmafin. You need to finish it. When I first started doing that Pew Pew Doodle, it was going to be like a sketch version of Luna, but I quickly realised it could be a lot more. So, what am I doing? Damn it! I meant to test the. What was the testing? I forgot what I was testing there. God damn it! All right, getting distracted by stuff, aren't I? Okay, all right, the timing. That's what I need to do. Oh my god. We really need that joke, but Akmafin's jokes are getting worse. Okay, so let's have a look. Where is the explosion? That's the player entity. There we go. Okay, so activate. Okay, so mine timer. Okay, so we do have a value for this. Actually, these are all in another file, so let's just stick that constant there as well, which will actually have to be changed to label. But we should have constants. Here we go. There we go. Mine. Wow, it's really short actually. Wait, why didn't that copy? There we go. Just make it hex. Let's just shorten it to that. See if that, because that seems really, really short. Oh yeah, I'd love to see Luma on Amiga. I think it'd be really nice. If you want, I can share the graphics that I did for the Mega 65 with you. I can share the code with you as well if you want. Because I definitely see the Mega 65 as the more more suitable version graphically, and it would definitely suit the Amiga quite well. Still a bit slow, aren't they? Like I kind of feel like I need to time those. Let's have a look. Okay, I think I've got an idea how quick they are. So, oh, it's almost right. It's not. It's just like a little bit less. So let's try that. Thank you, Satrak, for the follow as well. Welcome to the stream. Hope you're doing well. Satrak75. Oh. Has that crashed on me? I think it's crashed on me or something. Something weird's happened there. Let's try it again. Maybe I was just running the wrong. Yeah, I did a Mega 65 version. If you want to check that out, I don't think I've got a video of it actually, or maybe I have. I'll see if I can find. I might have even shared it already on. I know it's definitely on the Mega 65 file host, and it does run on the emulator, or it used to run on the emulator. I don't know if it still does. Where is it going to be? Files, there we go. Yeah, I don't have a video of it, but you can see the the details there. So it's a much much improved kind of graphical style, definitely suited towards the Amiga. But I can share those files with you if it's not already. It might already be in the GitHub repos. If it's not, then I can give you access to it. It's not a problem. Let me just check if it is or not. If you just send me a GitHub account name, I can add you to it if it's not already there. Let me just check. Oh. Wow, it's not even in GitHub. Okay, well, I'll add it to GitHub and send you the details. It must be on my NAS drive. Yeah, I do like the colors in it. I think it looks really nice, actually. And proof that if I do put my mind to it, I can actually draw stuff, because I did all that. So I can actually draw nice looking stuff with a bit of effort and a bit of time spent on it. But I would recommend downloading it and giving it a try as well. I mean, it's pretty much the same. Oh God, right. I'm going to take a short break while I go and get a drink. But when I come back, we'll. Oh, let me just quickly test this mine. I keep spawning in front of that one. Yeah, they're better. It should give you enough time to react and turn around. But you have to be quick like that. So I was a bit slow because I was looking at the top one, not the bottom one. Like that I can get away from. Yeah, that's kind of cool. All right, so next job will be to look at this screen. So we're going to need to set up a spawn routine for these. So there's, I don't know how many are there, 4, 10, 16. So we only need 12 at a time. So we'll create a little spawning routine for this particular screen. We'll create the files that will create the Robotron methods that allow us to spawn various items randomly or however. Rakanor345, thank you very much for the follow. Welcome to the stream. I'm just going to take a quick break. I'm going to be 2 or 3 minutes. Just going to go to loo, grab a drink and stuff, and leave you with some quizzes and stuff. So I should be back in, let's say 5 minutes. All right, back, guys. All right, I'm back. We're down to the San Pellegrino lemon water. This is just sparkling water that it seems they've squeezed half a lemon into. It is fine. It's nice enough. That's a little inhaler thing. Okay. So we're on this screen now. So, okay, as I say, on this screen, we need to spawn 12. That's what I could see. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to get the spawn routine working first. So we're going to get it so it creates 12 random positions. I think it's, I'm not sure if it's random or if it's predefined, actually. But we'll go with random for now. If it is predefined, then we can change that at some point. Destruction of them. That's a really good point, actually. Yeah. Yeah, very good point, actually. Let's work on that then. So, okay, so we do have some routines that check various things that are happening, but I think what we need to do is we need to set a flag if we're in a Robotron screen. So I think the first thing that needs to happen is we need to set some kind of flag somewhere which says this is a Robotron screen, therefore there's an additional level of checks in here, because we don't want to do the checks all the time. Flags, yeah. God damn the. Okay, let me have a think. So, what do we need to check? We need to check 2 things. We need to check the mace and we need to check the bullets. So let's have a look at the bullets first, because that's in a nice kind of file all by itself, and see what this is checking. So the bullets actually do some checks as the bullets are being updated, I believe. Draw bullets. Here we go. No, that's draw, isn't it? It's going to be an update. It's going to be this one. Yeah. Check versus passable masked areas. Bullets hit something. Okay, so this is where it's actually checking through, and it knows it's hit something. So I believe that by default, it's going to know that it's hit something with the thing. But the problem is it's going to draw a decal on top. The decal is a problem because when it removes, we get shit like that appears. You can see it's kind of doing weird things. But that's because what we want to do is instead of drawing a decal there, we want to say, we've hit one of these. So if we've hit something, we need to check what it is. So the player's hit something. Okay, so this is where we've hit something. So if it's equal to 0, okay, so at this point we know we've hit something, and the accumulator contains char we've hit. Okay, so if data is player, okay, the data is player, comma x. Right, what's the x here? What is the x index indicating? The x indicating, okay, it's indicating, player bullets or not. Well, in this case, all of these bullets are going to be player bullets for now. So this system is going to be used for other bullets as well. In fact, I think it is used for the spikes as well. So that's why that's there. Okay, so I can see one little... Okay, I'm going to do this very quickly. So that's a little speed up. So because pushing and pulling onto the stack is relatively expensive, if I remember rightly. Or one of the operations is. I think we save a couple of cycles. So this is like 4 cycles. This is 2. So it's 6 cycles total for that store and load pair. And the opcode... Oh, I don't have it. Hang on. Doesn't have the cycle counts on them. Some of the cycle counts. Here we go. This is the one I always use. I should probably add this to my list, but so it's 3 to push. Maybe it's only 3 to pull as well. No, 4 to pull. So we save 1 cycle at the cost of a few bytes. But that's fine. I'd rather do that than use the stack anyway, if possible. So just a little thing. If I spot something like that, that's where I'm gonna make changes. So it's only 1 cycle, but this is happening potentially on lots and lots. Well, actually no, because this is when it's been hit. But if there was a push and pull somewhere in here, then it would definitely be worth getting rid of that because it would be expensive to be doing that. But you see, look, we've got passable area checks as well. But you see how we're skipping. So we're trying to skip over things. So that's what we need. We need a flag to say whether or not we should skip over the next check or not. Okay, so this is saying the bullet. Okay, so this is storing. Okay, this is putting it back in X as well. Okay, so is there any reason we need to do that? I mean, can we not destroyable remove item? Okay, let's go and have a look at what that's doing. Yeah, look, the accumulator is immediately written there, so I don't know why we're doing that here. I mean, this could quite easily be replaced by this. I have no idea why it's being transferred to the accumulator. Maybe that used to do something, and it's just not doing it anymore. So let's just double check that that's working still. So if I do this, I should still be able to shoot things. All right. A little bit of optimization here and there is not a bad thing. Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy was released 42 years ago. That's awesome. just occasionally it seems to have a problem running this cart file, and I don't know why. Maybe it's because there's an error. That's why. Symbol restx is already defined. Okay, so let's call it restx2. So that must be being used somewhere else. Yeah, it's being used there. See, I like that. I like that I'm using these things now more and more often. Sake, straight away. All right, so yeah, cool. All right, so that's all working still. And the decals, there is a little bit of a bug with the decal. If you've got a decal already active and you shoot, it kind of repeats the decal. It kind of gets stuck in an animation loop. So I might fix that at some point, because it does look a bit odd. These mines are much harder now. I like that. They're not supposed to be easy. They're supposed to be difficult. So before you had loads of time to move away from them. Yeah, that's cool. All right, right. So that's my favorite line. I think that's such a great line, that Warlock. About the Vogon ship, isn't it? It's hung in the air in the same way bricks don't. It's brilliant. The other one I really like is the dew fell with a sickening thud. It is when Marvin's on the planet with the mattress Zem, because all mattresses are called Zem and come from a planet. I forget the name of the planet, but okay. So in that case, we know at this point that we've hit something. The X register contains the index of what it is. So we actually don't need to know what character we've hit. Oh no, the X contains the bullet. Okay, so actually we do want to do some... Okay, well, we can do the check here. So what we're going to do is we're going to check to see if we're on a Robotron screen. So a Robotron screen needs to set flag when it's entered, and it needs to be cleared when it's exited. That Robotron code is loaded in dynamically. That's a piece of dynamic code down here. So we can't rely on it being in this area. So while this code is going to set it, it's not going to be the code that it's not going to be in this area that it's stored. It's going to have to be somewhere else. 0 page would seem like the sensible place to put this, but I'm just wondering, for a single check like that, it might be a bit overkill to use what's already becoming quite a cramped area for these things. However, we do have some kind of Robotron bytes down here as well. What's the status of our 0 page? Is it worth using a variable down there? It would seem like the sensible place to put it, I guess. But it's just about kind of trying to save as much of that area as... Have I not got any marker telling me about the 0 page usage? No, I don't. Oh, there we go. Oh, actually, it's not too bad. We've still got 40, 50 bytes or something at the top here in temporary storage, which is kind of what we need. It's only the temporary storage we need to know. Because all we need to know is when we're on a screen, we just need somewhere to go and check to see if we're on a Robotron screen or not. So let's put it in this slot along with the other Robotron stuff. So let's call it Robotron Screen. Let's call it is Robotron Screen. So we're asking for a variable. Now, there is a few of these that are actually flags throughout here. I don't think there's many, but there's a couple in here. So we could maybe combine. So if we start running out of room down here, we could maybe combine some of these. Actually, it's not that many at all in here. I've also got these global temps. I can't even remember where these are being used, but I feel like these should be removed if we need that space at some point. And we need some space for the cart loader. That's fine. Actually, it's not too bad. I mean, we've got 50 bytes down here. We don't need to put any tables and stuff in here, so it's fine. We'll put it in here. So that means anytime we load a screen, we need to reset this. So in the map loader, we need to make sure that's always set to 0. So there is a piece of code somewhere which resets everything when we load a map, and you can see it goes through. Is it this one? Persistence remove. Yeah, here we go. So there we go. So we're going to reset it by doing this. So this is our kind of reset function, which is doing some weird stuff with these. But I don't care about the stack in this case because this is just a once per screen event. It's not something that's time critical. Whereas it, if we can save a few bytes here, then it makes sense to do that rather than use that. I don't know why we're saving that X register. I'm guessing it's because we need these map connection stuff here and the actual locations to do this load map routine. I don't know why the scroll count is set to 0 here rather than here. I think that's probably to do with load map having to kind of configure some stuff first. Oh, Zupa, was that in your town? Wow. I did see that on the news. It was crazy, man. Yeah, really crazy. Like bow and arrow as well. What the fuck? People are balmy, man. Okay, Robotron Screen. Yeah, it's kind of scary when you hear stuff like that. Okay, so here we just need to do. I mean, we could get away with an ink here and save a byte. Well, actually, save 2 bytes. But for clarity's sake, I'm going to do it like this. It's not important because this is dynamic code, and this dynamic code is. I think we can have up to half a kilobyte of no, more than half a kilobyte actually, 2 kilobytes of code here. So, and I don't think we're gonna run into that anytime right away. And I think we can still adjust it anyway. So we could potentially leak over slightly into other areas because I think just have a look down here. Really need this memory map written down somewhere. I should probably do that at some point because I don't have it there. Oh yeah, we don't have that area written. Oh, there we go. Game code high. So there is some game code that gets loaded in here, but it's got nothing in it at the moment. So that is in. Where is that? Save that file. Yeah. So this is just. We've got 16K of memory up here that we can use. Not 16K, sorry. 4K of memory that we can use up here as well. This is for extra code when we run out of room down below. But we're still doing all right with code, and there's still some things I can shift around. So, like I said, the tables, these tables here are only like what 300 bytes or so, maybe a bit more than that. They can be moved down to here into this low area. We need 8K available here for the music from 1 to 3000. But there's still a good 2K down here anyway, so I could probably move some of these other things. So I'm thinking tables is probably a good one to move down there. And anything else that's kind of small like that. Maybe even the screen macros as well could go down there as well. Because they're just like small functions and what's it called? So plenty of room for those anyway. You blame silent, violent C64 video games. That's insane, though. I think it's kind of crazy because Norway's, generally kind of these things don't happen at all. Well, I mean, you had crazy Nazi guy, I forget his name. Actually, it's probably better that no one knows his name, so I'm not going to say it, even if it gets typed in chat. But he did a really bad one, didn't he? A couple of years ago, 10 years ago or so, maybe a bit less than that. Killed like 77. Yeah, craziness. Uh, yeah, it's weird when these things happen, especially in countries like that where it's not the norm. Like they don't really happen here. I mean, we've had terrorist attacks, obviously, and we have had these things happen, but we don't have guns here, so the worst most people can do is run around with a knife for a bit, and it does get and sometimes, and there's definitely been some scary moments like the Borough Market attacks and the Westminster attacks as well. Um, but yeah, it's just unusual. Whereas like there's other countries, let's not name any any countries, but there's other countries where this is almost a weekly occurrence. Um, Three people shot the solid parts of me. Wow. Yeah, I mean we've had shootings around here, but they generally they're not mass shootings. Like they tend to be like gang disputes and things like that, but nothing kind of crazy. Like I say, the worst ones tend to be the terrorist attacks that obviously do happen. It's generally here, it's going to be, if it's a terrorist attack, it's either going to be someone running around with a knife, or a bomb attack, so like the Manchester Arena or the London bus and tube bombings happened. But you don't really see gun attacks here. Not to say they don't happen; they definitely do happen, but it's a lot harder to get that kind of to get a gun here and not be known about it. Okay. So now we know we can set this value. So now we can go into. Let's close some of these down. Actually, let's close the multiplexer down. Power ups laser. Keep the player open. Keep the bullets open. Move that over to there. Let's turn that boot file off. Turn that one off. Turn that one off. All right. So we're kind of feeling a bit more like we're ready for this now. All right, then get rid of that dynamic screen. Okay, cool. So now we know that we're in that mode, we can check that value. So what we'll do is, oh, actually the accumulator, okay. Just wondering, accumulator contains the char we've hit. So because what we need to do here is we need to check we're in a Robotron screen. If we are, we need to jump to somewhere. But what I want to do is do this without destroying the X register here, or the accumulator. So can I use the Y register? Is the Y register being used in here at all? Okay, we're using it there. I'm using an increased Y on it here. I'm using an increased Y on it here, but are we loading it anyway? Okay, we're loading it here. We're loading it here. We're loading it here. Okay. So it looks like the Y is safe to use because it's not used again down here. Yeah, it looks like it's safe to use. Okay, so we'll use the Y register for this then. Okay, so in that case, what we need to do is load the Y with is Robotron Screen, and then if that's equal to 0, we'll skip straight ahead to here. So let's do not Robotron. Okay, cool. So we've added a few cycles into this check, but it shouldn't be too bad. But now what we can do is we can call a Robotron function. Let's just have a look how big that Robotron method is at the moment. So that currently is just over a kilobyte. So we've got about a kilobyte left before we start cutting into the high area of RAM. But I think if we do start cutting into that, as I say, we can reduce that 4K down a little bit to to make room for this. And there's probably optimization we can do on all of these. So if we do really start running out of room, we can do that. One other option I was thinking as well is if I relocated the music. So the music is 8K, right? And a lot of the reason we're struggling for memory is we're trying to keep the graphics banks completely clear because I want to be able to load sprites in on the fly. It may be that we can use some of that graphics memory towards the end, but I want to try and keep as much of it clear as we can for now. But we've got 8 kilobytes right in the middle of our lower area of memory, which is being used for the music. Now, the thing with the cartridges, it comes in 8 kilobyte banks, right? So what I was thinking is if I relocate that music and the music has no RAM rights that are within that area, like it's only using 0 page for its music, which is a possibility because I do believe I've got some 0 page values set up for the music somewhere. I thought I had. Oh, maybe not. I might have to look at the music. I might have to look at the music at some point. But it could be what we could do is we could just stick all the music, all the SID tune, in a bank somewhere, and just basically bank it in when we need to run it. So the IRQ fires, which is going to run a piece of code, which is outside of that area. When it goes to run the music, we can put the music routine on like 1000 where it is now, but the first thing it does is it just banks in from the cartridge, runs the code on the cartridge, and when it returns, banks it out again. That shouldn't be a problem because we've got routines set up to do kernel IRQs and stuff. And the thing is with the music is it's all done in the IRQ routine. So as long as we return back to that routine again with the cartridge banked out, we should never hit the kernel IRQ. We should still be in that one. It won't trigger the kernel IRQ because the IRQ flag will have been set. We will be in an IRQ. It will be waiting for us to acknowledge the IRQ, and because we haven't acknowledged it, we'll still be running inside the IRQ routine, regardless of how the memory mapping is set up. So it may be an easy task to do, but we need to make sure that the music has no RAM rights. So as long as we can make it work as a ROM running, then it should be fine. It could be that I can write something which does some that relocates some of the variables into that lower location, and that would free up 8 kilobytes, which is quite a lot. But I don't want to do that unless I absolutely have to. So I mean, there's still a lot of stuff to do, but I think we'll be all right. I think we won't necessarily need it just yet. So let's go ahead and move. What was I doing? Oh yeah, we're going to do the bullets. So we need to call a function in the Robotron. All right, so let's just move the bullets over here for a second. So what do we need to do? Okay, we need to check now through the Robotron list, which is quite short. I mean, it's not, the maximum amount is, it should be in the constants file, actually. Where is it? There we go. 16. So, it's not too bad. 12 will be the most that's on this particular screen. But we should be able to check that against next. So when we go in here, next will say which character we're on, or how many there are on the screen. In fact, I mean, it really doesn't matter. We can check through the whole lot because we'll know if one of these values is set to 0. I can't remember which one it is, but we can check in the loop somewhere. If one of those values is set to 0, then it's not being drawn. I think it's type, actually. And then what we need to do, we just need to check these values here, char x and char y, against the value that we get from, where's the bullet? Actually, put the bullets. Yeah, let's keep the bullets on here. Okay. So just let me write the routine in here. So Robotron, is it going to be capitals? It is, isn't it? Check versus bullets. Check versus bullet. Because we know at this point that the accumulator contains, in fact, let's write that in the routine in here. Okay, so copy chart, add, let's put it, see, look, we've got all this temporary stuff and update. Yeah, I mean, this can all be removed now. But well, I'll leave it in for now because there might be some stuff we need. It's actually quite well documented, this, for once. I think I started doing a bit more in the way of documentation at this point. So let's put it here. So check versus bullet. Okay, so we are past the char in accumulator, the char number. So the first thing we'll do is check that against the. So we have these. Is it? We have these here, so we'll be able to check against this list here. If it's any of these in this list, then we've hit one. So that's the first thing we do, and that'll be pretty quick because we just need to check against 8 numbers, right? And if none of those numbers match, then we just return. We haven't done anything. We come back to here and we return. However, if we have hit something, then the next thing to do is check that particular bullet, which is the comma X thing here. So if we look on here, it's one of these. The X will be the index into this. Change the bullet index number. So then we go and check the X and Y here against these values. Now, the thing with this is it will be a little bit different depending on which one of these it's hit. So we need to adjust accordingly for this. So there will be, again, 4 different paths through this. At least initially, we may be able to simplify it, but yeah, okay. So I think, yeah, okay, this should be pretty straightforward, I think. So then all we need to do is we need to say, okay, what do we do when we've hit something? So in here we do, okay, so if it's not Robotron, we go here and we do the rest of the checks. So actually that can go before that as well, because we need to check if it's actually a player bullet. Because if it's not a player bullet, we don't care, right? If it's not a player bullet, we're not checking it against the Robotron screen. So that's the first check that gets done. Don't need that anymore. Don't need that anymore. Okay. And then it removes the item if it has hit something. So I think what we need to do here at the very end is jump to destroyable check done, because can I jump? I'll just jump. It's fine. Because if we are doing a Robotron track, we don't want it to act like a destroyable. We want the Robotron to deal with removing the entity itself. Okay, so in that case, let's do a little check now. If I do that, and it won't create a decal automatically now, I don't think. So let's just return from this function straight away, and hopefully what we should see is no longer see decals. I think there is a lot of optimization to be done in this. Okay, so let's try that. I could have been. Why does it keep doing? Oh, destroyable check done. Wait. Oh, because it's one of them things. It's a local label, multi-label, whatever you want to call it. Oh, great. Okay. So we just running into them. Did you call the method or just jump into that? Here, I just jump in straight to that. So I'm jumping over. So calling this one and then jumping over. So all this is going to do at the moment is going to avoid this remove item thing, which is going to create the decal. So, but let's go and set that branch to be a bit longer. I'm kind of tempted to write a macro to do these branches, so I can just do that. But it's fine. All right, so G plus. Probably going to have another one here. It's probably, this one's probably going to be too long as well. Oh no, seems to be fine. Yeah, seems to be fine. Actually, we only added 2 commands in, didn't we, sir? Brain equal to no Robotron line 307 just jump. Let's have a look. Skunk Monkey says line 307. Let's just have a look at that quickly. No, it has to jump to this. Yeah, it has to jump to this because it needs to know if it's a Robotron screen or not. I think I get what you were saying, but yeah, it has to do that. No worries. It's good. I like people take an interest. It's always good. Got line 310. All right, yeah. Why's that not loading now? All right. Oh god damn it! I blew up on it. All right. Forgot what I'm doing now. Oh yeah, going into the Robotron screen. Hopefully now I should be able to shoot them without them. Yeah, okay. So now they're no longer getting holes in them, which is good. And the reason they were getting holes is because of the decals. That's no longer happening. So the next step then is to work out which one we've hit and then try and remove that. So we won't do the particle explosion first. We'll just remove it and see what happens, because the next step is to add the little actually, what did they drop? I think they dropped the little stars. I think that's what they dropped. Hang on. We need to do all this as well. I mean, it's not going to look like that, but yeah, they do. They drop the little stars. And I don't know how they're going to interact, how the stars are going to interact with these, so that could be interesting. But you see how it's 12 at a time, and they seem to be in fairly random positions, so I'm just going to make them spawn randomly. Semi-random. I'm not sure how exactly to do it, and then this appears. Those star animations won't happen, but we can have the power up drop to the floor. We can just do a simple sprite animation for that. That's fine. Okay, cool. Let's just go back to that screen because it's good to have everything on here so we can see it. Okay, so if you jump to it, does RTS make sense? We're talking about. Oh, you mean from here? Oh, you mean it like jumping back instead of returning? Yeah, I mean, I think it does. I'm not sure why it would. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Sorry. Yeah. This is the jump. This is the subroutine. This is the jump at the end. I mean, one thing we could technically do is we could push, pop the stack and push this back on it, and it would save a couple of cycles. But honestly, it's going to be so. This isn't going to happen many times a frame. This is just going to happen once per frame at most, right? Well, I guess it could happen a few times if you just happen to get all the bullets lined up with some enemies. It might happen more than once, but I'm gonna have to go to the toilet again. Give me 2 minutes, guys. I just need to quickly go. I'll be right back. I'm back. Another PlayStation game. PlayStation ones are quite hard, actually. There's a lot of PlayStation games in there I've never heard of. Right, I have no idea what that is. Doesn't even look familiar. No idea. Never seen it before. It looks like some kind of RPG, but I'm not sure what it is. All right, so let's just try removing. Well, no, let's check. Okay, so first of all, we need to check against this char list here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do. Not that this number is going to change, but I like to use Legacy. Nah, it's not Legacy of Kain. Brave Fence. Okay, never heard of that. I like to wrap. Whenever I need to know the length of something, I'd rather do this than hard code the value. Then, if for any reason I do change this, I can check it then. So we know we can use the Y register because that's being used here. That's absolutely fine to use. We can always restore things if we need to restore things. But for now, let's assume the only thing we need to restore here is the X register. So anything we do with the X register needs to be put back. Everything else can be, so we can mess with A and Y. So we need to save X. Okay. So what are we doing? We're checking this char number against the list we've got at the top. So easy enough to do. We will grab, we'll set Y to be the number that we've got, which is -1, because we're counting backwards. Let's just indent this a little bit. So we're going to count backwards, and if it's still positive, we'll jump back. Okay. And we'll make this exit here because we're going to jump out if we need to. Actually, it's probably easier to just write RTS in here, isn't it, rather than waste a byte, jump into here. Well, it depends what the branch is like. Okay, well, no, it won't be a branch with it. Okay, so we need to compare the accumulator against the chars at chars, comma, Y. And yeah, if it's equal, we'll jump to found. Otherwise, we return. Okay, so now this is only going to... So we get to this point, then we've found an actual Robotron char. So okay, so this is where the tricky thing comes in, because what we need to do now is we need to work out which Robotron char it is. Now, the Robotron chars are going to be arranged. They're going to be the top corner. So in every case, it's going to be this first one here. So it's going to be 0, 1, 3, or in this case 3, 5. So 0, 1, 3, 5. But what we need to do is we need to know if it's found on this one, we need to bring it back to this one, and so on. So basically, if it's 0, it's fine. If it's 1, if it's 0, 1, 3, or 5, it's fine. If it's 2, it needs to be 1. Okay, so let's see, because it might be an easy way to convert this very quickly, right? So 0 equals 0. Let's do it like this, right? So there are 9 possible combinations here. So if it's 1, it's still 1. And the reason we need to do this is because we need to work out what the offset is. So if we've got an X that's actually, yeah, this is not going to be straightforward. Okay, I know how we can do this. Okay. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to say how many we need to move backwards in the X and how many we need to move backwards in the Y for each of these positions. So for the first one, it's 0. For the second one, it's 0. For this one, it's -1. And then it's 0 again. Actually, this is 1/2, so it's actually 0. It's 1 across. So the first 4 are all 0. And then we've got a -1. And then we've got 0. And we've got -1. And then we've got 0, -1. Okay, so this is the X offsets. And this is the Y offsets. So the Y offsets are going to be 0 and 0 for the first two. Then it's going to be -1 for that one. Then it's going to be 0 and 0 because these are two across, so there's no Y shift. And it's going to be 0, 0, -1, -1. Okay. Oh, what's this one? Oh, haha. Use 17 games for female protagonist. Oh, right, you've already done that one. 41% were failed products. Okay, so these are the values that we're going to grab. And the way we're going to do this now is we're going to take the X and Y values that we've got. So we find a Robotron cursor. Now convert the XY bullet position to a char origin position. Okay, so that's quite easy to do. So we know that the X contains the index into here. So we should be able to just grab bullets.data.x, X. So this is our X position. And we'll set the carry flag. Now, we should only need to set this once, I believe, because this should never... Oh, no, we've got... No. We can just do it like this. It's fine. Because we're doing... Actually, do we do -1? Because it's going to set the flag again. Yeah, if we change those to 1, it's kind of inverse of what we're doing, but it means we won't need to keep setting the flag. We set the flag once while clearing the flag we're using add. So we set the flag once, and then we subtract, and then this flag will stay set because these values will always be within the screen, so they shouldn't overflow anyway. So we subtract our char of origin offset X, Y. Can we do that? I think we can do that. But we'll soon find out. Pretty sure we can do subtract, Y. Yeah, why wouldn't we be able to? It makes perfect sense. I always worry about those things. Whenever I use Y, I'm always wary that not every thing has it, but I'm pretty sure we can do all that. Okay. And that gives us our, let's call it char or bullet X, let's call it. And that will be a self mod that we'll add in somewhere. And then we need to do the same again with the bullet Y. Data Y, that'll be offset Y. Okay, cool. And the reason that works is because once we've found the index in here, once we know what we've hit, the Y will contain that value that we need. So now we know we've converted the bullet to a char origin position. So now we need to test. Now test all Robotron entities versus this position. So this is the annoying thing, because we've only got a char X and a char Y. We know we've hit something, but we don't know which one it is in the list, and we need to know which one it is in the list to remove it. So now we have to actually cycle through these. So this is the slow portion. This is relatively quick, but this will be the slower portion. I'm just going to check through the loop list to figure out. Yeah, okay, so we do this. If type is 0, entity is inactive, so skip. Okay, so change this up a little bit, but because that won't be X, it'll be skip, won't it? And this probably needs to be Y again now. So we'll go backwards through this. So we'll go load Y with max Robotron entities -1. And we'll call this skip. Put this here. And this will be decreasing Y. If it's still plus, let's call it check loop. Okay, so we still kept X. So we want to save X. So I want to try and avoid using X where possible. It may not be possible, but I think it is. I don't think there's going to be any problem. Okay, so now we know that that's we've found an active thing. So we're going to grab our what's it going to be? It's going to be data dot. What is it in here? Should be X and Y, but I think I've called it char X and char Y. That's fine. Char X, char Y. Is it lowercase? All lowercase? Yes, all lowercase. Okay. Compare that to, and this will be bullet X. And it's a self mod. And if that's not the same, we can jump to skip because we've not hit it. It has to match both of these. So we should check which would be the quicker one to exit. So there's more chance of it matching in the Y than the X because the X is wider. So we check X first because there's more chance of the X. We want to exit out of this quicker. So it's quicker to do the X first than it is to do the Y first. Okay, so if we've hit, what do? We just need to remove it. So I think it's as simple as just setting the type to 0. Let's see what happens if we do that. So okay, that should be enough. Hopefully that runs and we're not getting any issues. We shall see. Go to the dinosaur. Keep getting hit by that. It's a really bad place to spawn that. Okay, let's have a look. So hopefully now, okay, right. So it's not actually removing them. So what I'm going to do instead is I'm going to increment the border here just to see if we get to that point. I have a feeling we're not getting to that point. I have a feeling something's failing in here. So if that's the case, we will we'll stick a breakpoint in and have a look, see what's going on. Yeah, got away from it that time. Okay, yeah, we're not hitting that. All right, so let's have a look. Are we getting past this? Let's see if we're getting into this Robotron chart. So, because it could be this is failing for some reason. In which case, we'll check the value. We can put a breakpoint here and check the values in this location. HVAC. Is there a new one, Proton? And welcome to the stream as well. Oh, I still haven't updated the old one, have I? I don't think. No, I haven't, unfortunately. I will do that at some point. It's kind of low priority for me at the moment. Okay, yeah, we're not hitting any of those. So that means that these checks are not working. So let's put a breakpoint right here because we know we've hit something at this point. So let's see what happens when we're going here. Okay, so there we go. Right, so the accumulator is 0, 1. Okay, that's interesting because this is definitely not 0, 1. We've not hit anywhere else. At least I don't think it is. It shouldn't be at that point. No, it shouldn't be because that's a. Okay, okay. So it's just the value that's wrong when we come in. Okay, so let's have a look. Here we go. All right. No, it's not because we're doing this here. Whereas what it should be doing is saving this value. So actually, maybe this should be in here like that, and then we'll do that check in there as well. Did you set the Robotron? Yeah, the Robotron flag is definitely set because it's breaking here. So, but we need to do a little check here. Because if it's not the player, actually, Robotron screen, this shouldn't matter actually at this point. Because it is a Robotron screen, we're checking the bullet. Okay, we do need to check that player, but we need to keep the accumulator clear to do this, right? So, God damn it, hang on. Okay, well, we can do it with Y, right? So, we'll do that. And then if it's not the player, so if this is 0, then we can just jump to exit straight away. All right. Right, let's do that again, but this time. So it's doing the same check that we're doing here, but it's doing it in here instead. And that means that we retain the value that's in the accumulator here. Okay. So if I run that now, hopefully I should get a different value when I shoot that thing. It shouldn't be 0, 1. And that's why it was 0, 1, because that flag was being set, basically. Fun with flags, yeah. I like flags. You do like flags, Andy. Oh, why is he doing that? He's doing that now and again. Oh, because this needs to be bullets. There we go. It's good that it just doesn't load properly now. At least it's obvious when things break. Oh my god, I've got millions of windows open. All right, well, come back to that in a minute and close them all. Oh. Oh, crash. Ooh, crash, crash, crash. Why crash? Okay, so we need to check that. Oh, what is going on here then? All right, if I just put that back there, what happens? Is it this that's destroying it, maybe? Come X, it shouldn't be because it needs X, and that's not changing X anywhere. It's using it, but it's not changing it. Let's just get it working again. They use Windows 11. Not at the moment. No, I'm waiting. There's going to be a patch towards the end of this month, I think. I think they said 22nd, so next week. I want to use it because I want to use the direct storage API and stuff. Okay, that fixes it. That's weird. Why would that change things, though? Why would having that there suddenly work? It's not a Robotron screen, so it would come to here. I mean, okay, let's do that again. It might be another random crash for some reason. Yeah, that's the other reason I want to use it as well. They've really sorted out the subsystem for Linux because it was usable, but there was a lot of things it couldn't do, and it sounds like they've really kind of sorted that out. but at the moment it's got a problem with Ryzen chips. Radeon, God, that's old tech. So actually it's not old tech, is it? It's still called Radeon the 60s. Yeah, it's still called Radeon. I definitely do want to use it, but at the moment, firstly I need to repaste my machine. It's starting to get really hot for some reason. I've had to actually disable half of the cores because it's when all 16 cores are running, it gets really hot. So I've had to tone it down. I'm far too lazy to take it apart and reapply thermal paste, but I definitely need to do it because it's getting too hot for water cooling, to be honest. I mean, it's perfectly. I mean, you know, it runs perfectly fine. It's not a. Why is it crash when I'm in that position? That's really weird. What is the difference here? That's really odd. That is really bizarre. I don't quite understand that. Just I need to run this a few times to check this. But the other thing is as well, until they fix the Ryzen issues, because it's really, my personal opinion is it's Intel being arseholes, because Intel have worked really closely with Microsoft to optimize the task scheduler for the various cores for their new kind of hybrid core CPUs. Thanks, Husky Puppers, for the follows. Welcome to the stream. Cheers. And in doing so, it seems like they've broken the way Ryzen assigns tasks to cores. Now, Microsoft know what it is, and they're working on a fix for it. It's basically what's happening is it's overestimating how much level 3 cache is available on the biggest tech flops. Yeah, there you go. They are they're overestimating, or they're overcalculating how much level 3 cache is on the chip, so it's kind of slowing down quite a lot, which is not a problem in most cases, but there are a few games and stuff that will slow down by about 15-20%, which is not what you want really. But they're working on a fix for it. But I think it's because it's Intel's meddling. Basically, they've basically got Microsoft to change the way that the scheduler works for their stupid cores that they've got, which is a whole other thing that winds me up at the moment. They're putting a lot of these Alder Lake benchmarks out, saying, look how it beats AMD's, you know, 5th generation Ryzen chips, and it's like, well, okay, you're talking about a chip you've not released yet that beats a chip that's been out for a year, in very select benchmarks that you have selected. I don't believe for a minute that they're going to compete toe to toe with AMD yet. Yeah, exactly. They're very much picking their benchmarks, and it's like, okay, even if you did go toe to toe, your power consumption is 3 times what the AMD chips are. You're not fooling anybody. They're still on 10 nanometer, even though they've called it Intel Node 7. They've renamed, instead of using nanometers now, they're using these names because it allows them to reduce the number and sound better. Everyone does that. Yeah, I mean, yeah, everybody does do that, which is why you've got to kind of, and Intel basically on the back foot. They're being really defensive. Obviously they have to leak these benchmarks because they want people to think, you know, that the upcoming stuff is going to be good enough. But it's really funny how they're running a machine. You know, Alder Lake is DDR5 for a start, right? So they're trying to sell a chip that hasn't released yet on DDR5 memory, versus a chip that's been out over a year now. Is it over a year? Yeah, it's probably over a year now. With lower power consumption that's on DDR4 in a very specific set of tests. So I just don't believe them. I think when the Ryzen 7000 series comes out next year on Zen 4, I think it's going to kick the living shit out of Intel, and Intel are really going to have to up their game. They've needed to up their game for a while, and they haven't been doing it. And I think they're gonna get shafted if they're not careful. Okay, why is this crashing? Why does that being there crash, but not when it's here? So let's just move it back just to prove a point. And put that there instead. So not running this code at all. Not that it would run. I mean, it's not a Robotron screen, so this should be 0 at this point. But for some reason, putting that there means it doesn't crash. Yeah, SP exactly. That's what they've done. They're claiming that their 10 nanometer super fin FinStack node or FinTech. It's FinStack, isn't it? Super FinStack node is the equivalent of 7 nanometer. But the thing is they're not the only people kind of reinventing the way that the chips work. So, it's not like AMD is still using the same kind of lithography techniques that they were using 20 years ago, just at 7 nanometers. Well, 5 nanometers now, I think, aren't they? Moving down to. They're also doing things like 3D V-cache and stuff like that. So it's stupid. Yeah, see, it doesn't crash when it's there. It's weird. It's Intel just trying to market things in a way that that makes them look better than they really are, because they are lagging behind and they don't want to seem like they're lagging behind. The one bug where I had was I got a new computer recently. It shouldn't have everything. It should have everything to support Windows 11, but when I tried installing it, it said this computer cannot support Windows 11. Getting no reason to find out why. If it says I don't know what he was missing. It's probably the TPM thing. That's the main reason why they don't support it. It could be that something's turned off in the BIOS that's preventing it from correctly identifying it. If you buy pre-built computers, they tend to have lots of weird BIOS configurations that are wrong and stuff. Like I've seen people get oh, hang on. Oh, one sec. Yeah, I've seen people get systems that are really badly configured. Okay, sorry, I just had to answer that. Right. Yeah, I would try going into the BIOS and resetting everything. It might solve it. Some of these motherboards have the ability to turn these things on and off, so it could be something as simple as that. It could very well not be, and it could just be some weird Windows bug somewhere. But yeah, okay. We've got about another 20 minutes left. I have no idea why this is failing here. It's really weird. Why would that be failing? Because if it comes into here, it has to run through this. This is a block of code we put in to skip things, right? So let me try something. Let me move that there. We know it crashes if it's there, but if I turn that off, what does it do? I mean, it should skip over this anyway. It shouldn't be doing any of this. And even if it did, it wouldn't matter because the X register is set here. So yeah, it could be something like that. I mean, I'm going to stick with Windows 10 until I upgrade my machine. I'm looking to get a DDR5 Ryzen machine next year, unless for some miraculous reason Intel does somehow do better, but I don't think they will. Yeah, see, that piece of code is breaking stuff. Why? Why would this break anything? Why would that make any difference? Yeah, exactly. I'm not even bothered about reapplying the thermal paste. I'm just going to leave it. until I upgrade, and then I'm gonna keep the same case, but I'm gonna do like a Mario theme in it with thick green pipes and some 3D printed kind of blocks and stuff. It's another point. I need to do some more 3D printing. I've not done any for ages. Okay. I don't know what to do here at all, because that really shouldn't be affecting anything. Well, I mean, is it because this brake's been hit, maybe? But it shouldn't be being hit because we shouldn't be getting into here. Let me turn that off. Actually, let's do this. Actually, no. Let's just cancel that out. Let's see what happens. So, regardless, it should skip over this now. Maybe it's not skipping over properly. Maybe it's not setting that his Robotron chart properly. Need 3D printed slot brackets for your ATX64. We have no models for them. Is it something you can measure and create yourself in Tinkercad? Maybe. Yes, that's working. That's weird. So I assume if I get rid of that, maybe it's not breaking it. Maybe it's not crashing. Maybe it's just a break for some. Well, no, because we would have got the. Honestly, I don't know what is going on here. I don't know why it's failing. It's very odd. I need to find my calipers. Actually, I do have some calipers for measuring stuff, and I don't know what I've done with them. Yeah, it crashes. But is it even getting into here? Why would it get into here? Wait. Let's put a break here. See if we get to that at least. I'm really confused by this. Really confused by this. Okay, so it hits that. Wait. Oh, I said bloody. Did you bash X? No. No, that's what I was thinking, but it hasn't bashed it at all in here. Check versus bullet. Hang on, let me check some stuff in here. First of all, why is it getting in? It shouldn't be getting into there because this should be failing. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put a breakpoint here and see what the Y register is, because it should be 0 at this point. But maybe that map. Maybe it's because I'm already on the screen, so it's not having to draw the next screen. There's some values I can reset in here. I mean, it shouldn't matter because we should be moving in, but I'll leave it in there for now. I think that's the problem, you know. It thinks it's on a Robotron screen. And it's... that's exactly what it's doing. Yes. It thinks it's on a Robotron screen. And so it's getting into trying to jump to this function, but this function isn't loaded in yet because it's dynamic. So I think that's fixed it. Right. So, yeah. The Windows smartphone was a fairly thing. That's what it was called. Yeah, I was technically a flag, yeah. Don't tell Andy that. God damn it. Don't listen, Andy. Oh, okay, cool. So we're getting flash, which means we are hitting this area. Okay, so we found a Robotron char. But we're not hitting this one here, I don't think. Let's just try again. Okay, so we're not hitting that one. Okay, so we know we're hitting this one. So here, we know we're getting here. So let's have a look. Bullet X, bullet Y. Put breakpoint there. That's going to allow me to read these values here. And I'm just going to put was it like a debug? No, I can't remember what it was. All right. Because I want to check these values myself. Oh God, where's that going to be now? It's going to be miles away, isn't it? Charex A842. Okay. So we are looking at let's get some paper. Oops. That's all my pen's gone. Pencil. Type. I need to come up with some good tunes like this. It's going to be tricky. Oh. I was looking at it this time. Actually, I don't have Skype installed, so I would have. Okay. Okay, so do some AC. That should be enough. All right, so ACB5 and ACBC. Okay, ACB5, CBC, A9 or A842. Okay, so ACB5 gives us a X of 17. Does that seem about right? That would be 23. This probably is about right, I think. It's just over halfway, this character, I would say. Okay. ACBC 0D13, which seems about right as well. I would say it's about halfway down the screen. Let's write these. Let's write them as hex, and it's easy for me to work out. For some reason, I work better with hex in my head. Okay, 842. Okay, so this is 2 rows of characters here. So this is all the X's. I'm actually looking at this. Okay, they're not using charx. Wait, what? That can't be right. Oh, because store them as 4 times this value. Okay. Okay. So in that case, what we need to do is we need to actually change our bullet X and bullet Y. Okay, so 4 times 13 would be 52, which is 3-4 in hex. So is there a 3-4 in here? There is there, which makes the top one 23 times 4, which is 92, which is 5C. Yes. Okay, right. So we need to times by 4. So that's it. That's the problem. Let's close all of these down. It's because of the way that we do the movement. So the char x and the char y are multiplied by 4. So okay, so we put a little note to say that we're going to do that. And then that should be the last thing of the night, I think. We'll finish this off next week. So So that's pretty easy. Once we've stored a value in a location, we can just double it twice using ASL. And as I say, this is not going to happen like every frame or anything. So, or the other way we can potentially do it is to save a little bit of a few bytes is to do that. So let's just do it that way. Saves a couple of bytes. It should never overflow again because these values should always be within that 0 to 40 range, which means it's never the flag is always going to stay set. Actually, no, this is going to clear the flag, so I do need to do that because it's going to actually push a 0 into the flag. So I do need to set the flag again. Okay. Oh God, SharePoint! I hate SharePoint. Okay, I think that should work now. Now, I don't know what it's going to do when it finds it, but we should at least get a border flash. It might remove it, though, because we have set in 0 type here. And then the only thing we'll probably need to do is have another routine in here that kind of does this section slightly differently. So this will probably be split into two pieces. So this will be check versus bullet and check versus mace, but the end result will be they'll both jump into this function, which does the actual checking. The reason being is because the mace obviously isn't going to be in the bullets area; it's going to be somewhere else. So, did I launch that then? I'm not sure if that's the fresh one. I like that, Andy. It's good. I really hate Teams. It's not good at all. It's just such a resource hungry thing for what it is. It really shouldn't be. Okay. Okay, we're not getting any flashy. Oh, we did get a flashy border then. Okay. Oh, we're getting a raid just as I'm about to quit as well. But let's greet all the raiders and then we'll quit for the night. But thank you very much for the raid, Wimpy's World. Welcome to the stream. As I say, he just catches towards the end of the stream now. Just there's a little bit of a bug I need to try and fix. So I'm probably going to have a look at that quickly before I go. But yeah, welcome along everybody. For those who haven't been here before, Shannon 50k. I do Commodore 64 development on Thursdays, Mega 65 development on Saturdays, and starting next week, I'm going to do some multiplayer games with my son on a Tuesday. Yeah, it's all done in assembly, and it's sometimes it's painful, sometimes it's fun. What have you been up to tonight? What have you been making? What have you been developing? I see you've been doing software and game development. Go and give Wimpy's World a follow if you aren't following him already. I'm gonna chuck you a follow if I'm not already. I'd like to return the favour. Yeah, there we go. Good follow from me. Thank you very much for the raid and welcome along everybody. Linux Dev so fixing bug in today's Monty Mate 21.10 release. Oh, cool. Cool. French guy CH, thank you very much for the follow. Welcome to the stream. Yeah, we like to get as low level as we can get on this. I say low level, I mean we've got macros all over the place, making it seem a lot higher level than it really is. Thanks for the follow, Wimpy's World, and again, thank you for the raid. Appreciate it all the time. I do the Saturday streams are generally done while I'm drunk as well, which makes it a lot more interesting. So yeah, this is definitely more modern style 6502 to be fair. I mean, it's still assembly, but there's just some differences. That's all. All right, let's have a quick. I'm not going to spend too long on this. I'll probably pick this up on the next stream. But we know we've hit something here. I think maybe these values are kind of wrong. Thanks for the cheer, Nicomo. Appreciate it as ever. Just to let everybody else know who's come along with Wimpy's World, we do a lot of giveaways on this channel as well. I like to say these because it's it's one of the reasons to stick around. Really, we give some of the prize away every month. At the moment, we've been doing it through competitions, so we've been doing coding competitions and coding challenges for C64. This month is a SID challenge, so to write a piece of music that uses 2 SIDs based on a TV theme. It's very secretive, hush hush. Nobody's allowed to tell anybody because we're doing some blind voting on that at the end of the month. And the end result is you will win a Nexus A7 board, which is an FPGA board, complete with a 3D printed case, which can run the Mega 65 core. So we've been promoting the Mega 65 all year with this, and that's what the giveaways have been. We are giving away an actual production Mega 65 machine at Christmas, which is based on a competition that we've been running since the beginning of, I want to say September. I might be wrong though. I think it is the beginning of September. Yeah, it is. So you get 3 months from the beginning of September to the beginning of December to make a game. Then it's going to be judged by some kind of celebrity judges, if you like. We've got people like Chris Hulsbeck, Thomas Hertzler, big people in the industry, ex-C64 devs and people who worked in the industry are going to judge those games. The best one's going to win a Mega 65. We're also giving away a PlayStation 5 at Christmas as well. So if you are subscribed in December, and you come along to the December the 23rd stream, I think it is. Let me just check my dates. And you're subscribed on that date, then you're in with a chance of winning a PS5. Yeah, there we go. Catch up on the chat a little bit. I think I'm probably gonna do a raid now and call it a night here. Thank you very much, Lycan 1534 for the follow. Appreciate it. Appreciate it a lot. Thank you very, very much. And again, thank you for the raid, guys. Unfortunately, it is kind of my signing off time, so I think I'm going to leave it here with this bug. We'll pick this up next time. Very, very close, I believe. Just need to work out exactly what's whether we're hitting something every time or not. But it should be pretty easy. Raid hop, yeah, we'll go and raid somebody else. So we're gonna take you all over to someone. So let's have a look who we've got. Let me bring up my raid box. Oh, why is that page not working? Oh, weird. All right, well, the page is all weird. Who've we got? Not many coders on. Okay, Noodle Beef Noodle. Yeah, let's go Noodle Beef Noodle. She's a lot of fun. What she's playing. I don't know what she's doing actually. Let's have a look. What is that? I don't know what it is. Let's go and raid her anyway. So yeah, I'll be back on Saturday. We're going to do Mega 65. We're going to do kart racing. We're going to implement that Cohen-Sutherland algorithm to do the clipping of the box properly. And then next week we'll do the gaming on Tuesday, which should be a lot of fun actually. So thank you very much for joining, guys, and I shall see you all. Actually, have I actually pressed the right button? I have, yeah. I shall see you all on Saturday. Thank you very much. Goodbye. Wait, did I even press the right button then?